Danny, we've been playing games. We've done things. There's been a hobby and a happening.
It's been Hobbyriffic.
It's been Hobbyriffic. I don't have that, but next time I'm going to have like a 60s surfer style intro music.
Hobbyriffic.
Like Hobbyriffic. Hobbyriffic time. What have you been up to this past couple weeks?
Oh, man. I don't know. No, that's not accurate. Let's see here. So I played several games. We played a game.
We did.
I don't think we talked
did.
about
No,
that.
we didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, that was right after we recorded last time.
Oh, yeah, that was. It was like, yeah, it was. So
Game is a strong term.
man, that was really it. It was not the best game, like from like a tactical standpoint, right?
For my part, yes.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't think you did anything like super wrong. I think that you could have played things like even slightly differently, and you would have done a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of, for me, anyway, just to jump in on your hobby time.
No, you're fine.
It was kind of continuing on my struggle with secondaries.
Man, secondaries are hard sometimes.
Yeah. I know, like, that's my biggest kind of gap right now, knowledge-wise, is getting the right secondaries in.
So I brought a night list. And this is kind of one that I've been talking about for a little bit here. I'm bringing, it's 8 armigers.
There was.
Various different type. And so my list kind of varies between 8 and 9 armigers. So I've got 3 with the lightning locks, the Moriacs. I've got 3 of the normal, and this was an Imperial night list. It was House Crest. But it works, I think, pretty much equally well as Chaos or as an Imperial. I think it's just different.
Said even a little better, right? As Chaos.
I think it's better as Chaos, yeah. So I've got 3 of the normal Armiger Warglaves, and then the other 2, I had 1 Moriax with double Siege Claw with the double Eradication Flamers or whatever, or I forget what they're called. Anyway, they do 3 flat damage. They're pretty cool. And then I took another Warglaive, but ideally I think I want just 2 of the double Flamer Armigers. I think they're really, really good. And they're cheap. They cost roughly the same points. And then I took a Knight Tyrant, a Knight Valiant.
Imperialist.
Yeah, sorry. Knight Valiant, and he has the Helm Dominatus, which is an Admech or a Knight Mechanicus relic that you probably haven't seen before. And you pick a target unit within 24, and your armigers within 6 inches of the knight get +1 to hit against that target. So all of my like shooty little double lightning lock Moriacs are hitting on 2s, and they become super efficient.
They were extremely efficient.
They were very efficient,
like surprisingly so.
They even did work against John's drills and stuff. They were phenomenal. And then the Knight Valiant was just excellent against
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I harpooned a drill.
Yep,
that was pretty cool.
And a rhino.
And a rhino, and then Flamered Plague Marines. I mean, he did everything that he needs to do. So he was great. But yeah, it was kind of like, did I get first turn in that game?
I got first turn.
You got first turn. Yep.
And I tried to be aggressive.
Yeah, John moved up the drills too far, and it was just like,
I really paid the price for that one. But that's kind of like the way my army is when everything is centered around like 2 things. Mistakes like that are key. But that's why we play practice games, so they don't really count.
That's right. Exactly. 100%. So I played that game. What else did I play?
You played against Tyson?
I played against my friend Tyson. I played some new Necron units, which was cool. I tried out the new stats for Immortals, as well as the Triarch Praetorians and the Triarch Stalker. And they were all phenomenal. But man, all of those units are great. I'm very excited to play with Triarch Praetorians more. I think that unit is extremely good and is going to be very good in this meta.
Well, you send like pictures of those models, and it's like I hadn't seen that model in like ever,
like ever on the table.
Yeah,
like even one time.
But it's like they're amazing. Like the way their back carapace is like sticking up and everything. They look great.
They have this really cool like giant orb in the back. I guess that probably was what lets them hover because they're jump infantry. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they move like 10 inches.
Do we add them to Jank Corner for next time?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. They're. I think that they're going to be a really solid unit. But what the upgrade that they got is they got an extra attack, which is huge, right? And then their close combat and shooting profile on the Rods of the Covenant went to 2 flat damage. So they basically have a strength 5 power sword that does 2 damage, and they get to shoot that power sword at 6 inches as well.
Of course.
Right. So you jump them up. They do that. You can give them, for 1 CP, you can give them +1 to hit. So they're hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s against Marines at -3 AP, and killing Primaris outright. Like, so they just do a lot of work against those kinds of units.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I played one more. Oh, I did play against Wallace as well, actually.
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
I played
yeah.
3 games.
You did.
Yeah,
Look
that
at
was
you
pretty
go.
good.
It's like an RTT over 2 weeks.
I know. It's amazing. Man, but I got crushed in that game. I tried to play Eldar. And it's been a minute since I played Eldar, and I deployed super bad. And Wallace is a great player and punished me super harsh on the first turn. It was kind of, it's like almost embarrassing. Like, because I haven't fucked up that bad, and like I could have avoided it too, because like I literally, okay, so what had happened is I put a bunch of units out front of my army, and then I phantasmed them away, and Wallace was able to get advance one of his Lord of Changes up and get I'm trying to remember. It's like, it's not Doombolt. It's basically you hit the closest enemy unit, and then every model within or every unit within 6 inches or 3 inches of that unit takes D3 mortal wounds.
Oh.
And the problem is I left a troop master like out front, like a moron, and so he was able to move up his Lord of Change in such a way that it hit a troop master. And that also hit a unit of Skyweavers, Eldrad, and Asserman. And then he was able to use other psychic powers to kill Asserman because he was the closest target. Now, I could have put Asserman, like, I only moved 2 units with Phantasm. So I could have moved another unit, i.e. Asserman, away. And so basically without him, the 30 Dire Avengers that I brought were no better than they normally would be.
No, they're not terrible, but they're not great.
So he managed to ace the Troop Master and Ezraman on the first turn, and it was like, there goes a lot of my synergy. But okay, I guess I'll just work with what I have left.
Man.
So that was a bummer. So I should have played better.
It looks like all of those practice games against me are really paying off, like skill level wise.
No, it's just, those armies are armies that you can't like fuck around with. Like, you cannot play badly. Like, you'll get punished super hard. And I got punished for being very sloppy.
I mean, I know like the one time I did really well with Eldar in an RTT is because my synergy was able to stay. Yeah. And like I made 0 mistakes, and that was the only reason that it worked. Like if you make like one mistake with that Azerman Dire list,
fucked.
You're done.
Yeah. So that was too bad. I wish I could have given him a better game. I tried to pull points out of it, but it was a total.
Man, maybe that's your secret revenge. Is he might have just like laid you out, but you gave him a terrible time. So really,
I was super salty.
Who's the real winner?
Probably, I don't know. Nobody in this case, because we didn't actually finish the game, and I refused to concede defeat. So that's that game doesn't fucking count. Yeah, damn straight, it's a draw.
Straight, it's a draw. Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Now, John. What have you been up to?
I played 2 games. I played against you in my ever like searching like. My never-ending quest to get better, and my never-ending request for you not to tone down your weird lists, which I might start doing. But
can you bring like a more friendly army, please?
I think my favorite thing from that is the story where you said that like you took your Necrons against your friend Tyson, who like isn't necessarily like uber competitive.
Well, this was his first game of 9th edition, so I'm like, John, I promise I'm not going to use the Veil of Darkness to put warriors on an objective in the middle of the table on the first turn. And then, like, I just couldn't fucking help myself.
It was like an out-of-body experience. And then, like, when you realize what you'd done, it already happened and no takebacks. You're professional.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from that game, and I think from that I made some really good list refinements. Like a lot of what I was excited about for the Galerpox was that I could outflank all of them for 1 CP.
That was cool.
Which is a cool little trick to pull out sometimes, but I think for the most of it, really not the best way to use them, which I learned from that game. And Danny, it was really funny because you were pretty upset that you ruined my experience by actually not letting me play my Galerpox at all that game.
By the time turn 3 rolled around, there wasn't anything else.
No, there was not. And then, so that was a good learning experience. I kind of learned a lot about the knights, and I think the hard thing about that list that you did for knights is just there's no good targets.
No.
Like, if I focus on my fire to take down the Valiant, then I'm surrounded by 8 little bastards who can kill me just as hard.
Yeah.
But if I ignore the Valiant, then those flamers and missiles will just...
Oh, man, they do work.
So I made some changes based on that, and then I took that into a game against our friend Nate yesterday.
He was playing Iron Hands.
He was playing Iron Hands. Yep. He has impulsors, a couple of Judicurs, things like that. We ended up talking out the last couple turns because it was getting kind of late. I think I scored it at 74-70 to him. I think a lot of that, again, is my choice of secondaries, which I think I'm getting over the hump in that.
I mean, you literally got, like, I think 0 points on one of them, right?
I did. Yeah. I tried to do domination. It didn't work, especially when I'm taking janky little units that can be easily destroyed.
Oh, you're not domination. You're thinking... grind them down.
Grind them down.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, afterwards, we did find out that he picked 2 secondaries from the same category.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, like, because he picked the kill characters, kill vehicles.
Oh, okay.
So, even taking away one of those, which I took away the kill characters, which he got 6 points for, it would have been like 70-68, which that includes my 10 points for paint, which entirely comes from an inability to do good secondaries. So what I got from that and kind of our conversations later on about it was you need to almost decide your secondaries before you get to the table now.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
So I've reworked my list a little bit with that in mind. So I think I'm going to go hard into scrambles.
Deploy scramblers is just easy to get.
10 points. So you're not, and I think the reason a lot of people don't like it is you don't maximize your secondary points of like 15. But that's a trap for a lot of stuff.
I totally agree.
Because if I have an easy 10 points, and like I said with my jank, with Galerpox, turn 1, I can get 10 points for scramblers. Easy. And if I can get a guaranteed 10 points, I'm going to take that time and time over again over a maybe 15.
Sure.
So that is the thing. And then a lot of the choices I started making. So my Demon Prince, I took away, I had the separating plate. It's just kind of like a little bit of a defensive buff on him. I took that away and added the, I forget the name of the relic from the War of the Spider book, but it gives him an extra psychic power, lets him, if he successfully casts, he gets to get a regen wounds.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool.
And then using that, like if I choose one of the psychic secondaries for casting, like in the center of the table, it means he can kind of hang out there, be a threat for that area, and regain wounds as he goes. So kind of self-heal. Because if you look at the Demon book, or even the Chaos book, it's like D3 wound recall is like 1 CP.
Yeah.
And if you look at my list where I'm starting with now 6 CP, I need those because, boy, let me tell you about blight grenades.
Oh, man. They did. So I had like some respect for them until I watched this game. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Like, so those things fuck.
1 unit of Plague Marines, I put 3 CP into to give them plus 6 inches to their range for their blight grenades, to give them Veterans of the Long War. Not Veterans of the Long War. Veterans of the Long War. And to give them, everyone throws a grenade.
Yeah, Grenadiers, 10 of them.
Grenadiers.
Yeah.
So I aimed at an Impulsor. And after
a full health
impulsor with the invulnerable 4-up, after all of my dice without Arch Contaminator near him,
right? He's only rerolling once.
I did 13 mortal wounds and a total of 18 regular wounds at 2 damage each.
Yeah. So, well, no, that was after failed saves. So
after failed saves.
He had 31 feel no pains.
Oh yeah, 31 feel no pains.
No big deal.
So I mean, that was disgusting, and sure, like it takes a lot of janky synergy from like the Biologist Putrefier to the Chaos Lord to the stuff like that.
Sure,
but nothing can survive that. We worked it out. Like it would take down an Imperial Knight easily, and then later on, like in the game, like I fell back with some flies that were tying up a Judicer and threw like 3 grenades at him. So I used 1 CP, so everyone could throw a grenade. only chose 3 of them to throw grenades, and the other 7 shot someone else. But that Judiker was dead.
He was dead.
And it's really nice just having a point and click unit where I can be like, I want that dead. It's going to be dead. I made some mistakes with moving units and trying to, like, for some reason, not thinking my Plague Marines could actually kill a unit when I just saw them blow up half of, like, a quarter of his army. So I moved some backup when I should have moved it over there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things like the drill, like my beautiful drill should have blown up an impulsor.
Oh, man.
But, every time you roll anything but a 1, it's going to be the time that you roll a 1.
Sure.
But I really do love right now that I can't command point reroll that. It makes it a lot more important for it to happen. Like if I get a 2+, yes, it goes off. I'm not like, okay, let me save a CP just in case it doesn't go off.
Right.
It takes like a lot of the tension away. So that was a lot of fun. It was a great game though. I had a lot of fun with Nate playing. He's kind of one of the very few people I play with right now.
Yeah.
And in general, it was nice to see him being a little happier about it. So the last time we played, he brought an 8th edition list pretty much to the game.
Yeah.
And it didn't kind of go well at all. And just to kind of see like he was making some really good plays, really good choices, and he ended up, like I said, winning 74-70. Or, we're going to put an asterisk against that because he cheated for the secondaries. And that's all we can say. I ordered some more Hullbreakers, the terrible Gallerpox unit.
Yep.
So I'm going to use those guys as Chaos Spawn because
move.
they're amazing models, and I'm not going to let them have terrible rules get in the way of me using them.
Hell yeah. I like the guy who's a fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, they're all great. And then you have like the Cthulhu one.
Yep.
Like where he's part squid, and then you have the fisher guy.
I think that's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like a fish hook in his back.
Oh, that's rad. But I like one's a butcher, one's a fish person.
Yep. Oh, a fishmonger, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what the other one is.
Candlestick maker.
Oh.
Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. No.
God damn it.
Yeah, I walked into that one. That's fine.
You've been reading a lot of children's books lately.
I have been reading a lot of children's books lately. I also converted up a Corn Lord.
Yeah, he looks baller, man.
He's amazing. I saw the Judiker, and I'm like, I can make chaos. I liked the hanging over the shoulder, like relaxed look. So I kind of butchered one of the Age of Sigmar corn kits and the Judicar kit, and a couple of Nurgle bits, a couple of Berserker bits. And I think we were talking earlier, I'm making corn my aperitif to Death Guard.
Nice. Okay.
So, I mean, they're still all going to be purple and gold because, pay what you know. But the different aesthetic, even just between the two Chaos factions, is just going to be very nice.
That'll be nice, yeah.
I'm going to surprise you, Danny. My corn stuff, it's going to be all like weird close combat jank.
What?
Which is like my Death Guard. It's all weird close combat jank.
That sounds like synergy, John.
Such synergy. So yeah, as I primed a Lord of Skulls, I have that guy going.
Oh yeah, I see him up there.
I've got some Blood Crushers that I'm going to make, and I just need a Death Guard break. Not from playing because I'm still having a ton of fun with them, but I think in the past 3 months, I've painted about 4,000 or 5,000 points of Death Guard.
I've done a lot of Death Guard painting, man.
So I think I just need to take a break and move away because I have 10 Blight Lords on my desk that are like half done. And I'm like,
sometimes you get stuck on a unit sometimes, you know? So it's good to take a break.
It is. So I'm going to take a break and paint up my corn guy.
You've mastered the art of the Stanley. You've downloaded the ITC Battles app. You've loaded your dice to guarantee your charge. Now perfect your game with Mob Rules measuring accessories. Made of the finest acrylic and carrying the skill of the Danny, the tactics of the Dave, and something positive about John. Get yours now at hammerheadgames.net.